Hey, hi all. Welcome back, dear my YouTube viewers and subscribers. Welcome back. So, in today's session, day five, the agenda would be learning the Excel functions like index and match. So these are the Excel function which we will be learning in today's session. So let's quickly go to our Excel sheet, yeah, and look at the use cases for today's session in order to perform the Excel functions in order to use index and match, right? Let's quickly go to the Excel. Yeah. So we are in Excel sheet. So the use case in order to perform these Excel operations are like this. So we have a student data, we have student name, the marks 1 result in the sheet student data, right? And in match data, we have marks 1 in column A, student name in column B, marks 2 in column C, and result in column D, right? Now, how do we use index function? How do we use match function? And how do we combine both index and match? We will be learning in today's session, right? So let's see how to use this index function, right? So what is this index? See, index is nothing but whatever the data set which you're having. In your student data, you have the data from uh, column A, row 1 until D11, right? D11 column. So this is your complete data set. So this data set on the values what you're having in these respective cells is nothing but your index. Now within this particular, we call this as an index. So within this particular index, how do we get to know the address of the student names, right? Now what is this address? Now if you look at this student called as Phyllis Paul is in row 6, right? This is row number 6, column A and row 6. Now if you want to identify the address of this Phyllis Paul, right, with this index or with this index, how do we get it, right? So we use this index formula. So now let's quickly write this index formula. So we very well know that whenever we starting writing Excel functions, we always start with equal to, right? And you just type this word as called index. If you look at this formula, right, so we have respective references which we need to select. Now this array, what is this array? Array is nothing but a collection of data cells, right? Now in this particular list, say for example, if you want to find Louis McGee address, the array would be, we need to select from this range, right? So this range is nothing but our array. It can be of any data type. It can be numbers, it can be characters, it can be string, it can be anything, right? Now, comma, index of A1, comma, 11, and row number. Like if you want to give the row number, you can give, or if you want to give the column number, we can give. As we are trying to get this address, right? So let's quickly just type index of A1 is to A11 and try to just type only this first. If you just see, if you have just selected only the index, as we don't get the values here, right? The index of A1 is to 11. If you just select only the range, do you get the value of this Louis McGee? No. So basically we want to have a reference, right? So assume that you just type a number called as 2 and close it. Can you see? So what is this index? In your range, when you just select only this range, you don't get the values. But when you pass the respective row or a column value, you will get the details. Now, as I have just entered the row value as 2, right? my row value as 2, I have got James Walker because it is the address what in this particular column. If I just selected the value as row 2, it has given me James Walker. In the similar way, assume that if I just type value as 10, I got Giselle Lancaster, right? So this is the way we get the address of the student name using index function, right? So now assume that my address is Giselle Lancaster. I think I have got it. Now assume that I want to get his result. I want to get his result. How do I do it? Using index function, we will learn it now. So for that, we use index. We use complete range because we are dealing with full data set, comma. Now, as I need to give the row number, which is my 11, comma. The result is there in column 4, correct? This is 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll type this as 4, try to enter. If you look at this particular value, right? The index of A1 is to D11, we have selected the range. The 11th value, what we have got is Kirsten McDowell, and the result, what he has obtained is pass, we have retrieved the value, right? So here, say for example, if you're typing 11, the value what we have got is Kirsten McDowell, right? And we use the same formula, and we are selecting the column result value of this Kirsten McDowell, which is pass. Now assume that we want to get Zeneda Decker, so which is 7. So if you just select this range as 7, we get to know the Zeneda Decker value as fail, right? So this is the two ways of writing a index formula. Now let's quickly move on to match. Now let's quickly pick up this guy. This is the student name called as Gillian Tillman, right? Now, how do we get the address of this particular Gillian Tillman? So we are matching up this particular student name in this data set and getting the address. How do we do it? We are matching here, right? So now you just simply use a match formula, lookup value. What is this, right? I want to identify the address of Gillian Tillman in this particular range. Lookup array, select this range, comma. We want to find exact match. So 0 and enter. If you look at the value of Gillian Tillman is in row 8. Can you just see? You got the value of Gillian Tillman. Now I will change this to Constance Bonet. Now I should get the value as 9. Can you see? We have retrieved the value as 9. So basically the matches matched up this student name in this array, and it is giving us the address value in which column it is or which row it is, right? Now I'll capture this. Now Velma Clemonson, it is in row number 3, right? So this is the way we use match function. Now let's combine these two index and match function and try to get the values with one of the use cases, right? Now, if you look at this particular use cases, in order to obtain index and match within the same formula, we will learn it, right? Now in the student data, I have student name, marks 1, marks 2, and result in a sequence, right? It is in sequence. In column A, we have student name, column B, marks 1, column C, marks 2, and result. And let's quickly go to match data sheet. Here, if you look at the values, column values, marks 1 it is there in column 1, student name is there in column 2, marks 2 is there in column 3, and result is there in column 2. So the sequence of these columns is different in student data. And if you look at the data in match data, it is in different sequence. It is not in order. Now with the help of index and match, even though the sequences got changed, the column sequences has got changed, how we can do a index and match in order to retrieve this marks one, right? In order to retrieve this marks one of certain student, we will learn it, right? Now assume that we want to get this student value here for reference if you want to identify this, right? Now how do we use this index and match in order to get the right value to ensure that even though the sequences got changed, right? So let's quickly look into that. So first thing what we have to do is we have to write equal to index. It is asking us array. So what do we want to find? We want to find in match data sheet, we want to find marks one. I'm selecting this range, right? And I am matching up. Match what? My lookup value is what? My lookup value here is Constance Bonet. That is my lookup value, right? And lookup array. What is my lookup array? My lookup array is this student name. And I want to get the exact match, right? So now I've just closed another bracket. I've got the value. Now, if you just see this formula, index of match data, I'm going to this sheet. From this sheet for this student, I want to get his score. I want to get his marks one. But my marks one is not next to student name. It is prior to student name. So it is not in sequence order the way it is there in student name, right? So the formula what I've written here is equal to index of match data. I want this particular data, right? I want to, with this particular index, marks one I want, for whom I wanted for this particular student called this Constance Bonet, match student data of this my H5, and reference is student name. So student name, and I'm getting this marks one. I'm doing the exact match. So what this particular formula has did it has identified this marks one irrespective of this particular column of this reference, and it has given me the exact match. Now we will just type to get this particular student name. Can you just see Giselle Lancaster here towards his left is having marks one as 73. We have retrieved the value. So in my match data, right? Now let me, as this is my marks one, I think we should not change this. Let me just change this student to here. Okay. You will still see the value has not changed. Now assume that I have taken this Phyllis Paul. Now I should get the values. Can you just see? Phyllis Paul. I have got the values here. Phyllis Paul, my marks one is 18. He has got the value. So what does this mean? Irrespective of your reference. So basically, if you look at the starting of a match data, that is common data set what we need to use. But wherein your student data, I mean to say the reference check, whatever which you're doing. Okay, even this is something which are getting, it is changing, is getting changed anywhere else, right? We still get the values. So it is not like VLOOKUP for every, like, we should have a reference number. We should always have the lookup reference number towards the left in order to get the values. But when you're using index and match, irrespective of your reference, it can be anywhere, right? Within this data set, you will still get this marks one value, right? So this is the way we use index, match, and index and match function in order to get our values with this particular use case. I hope you like this video. If you have really liked this video, please do like the video. Please view this video fully so that we will get a better understanding on the use case, on the example what we have taken. And please do subscribe. So your subscription towards my videos, it will motivate me in order to perform different kind of Excel actions. As my demo session, like an initial demo session, I told you that these are basic Excel functions what we are learning manually. So once we get to know how to use the functions manually, then we will be converting those Excel function into VBA programming. So that is my career. I mean, that is my long-term objective, right? So how do we learn the functions to use in Excel, and how do we convert those to VBA programming in order to automate the Excel function? That is my career objective. Hence, please like the video, view the video fully, and please subscribe my channel. Thanks a lot. Have a great day. Bye bye.